Good evening, everybody, and welcome to a new race on the YouTube channel of the Racing Liga. We here at round 3 of the Global F1 Championship, the inaugural Global F1 Championship in Monza. My name is Elias, and joining me in the commentary box is not Toik Welcome, but for the first time, Krakler. David, how are you?
I'm fine, thanks. And how are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm excited because we are racing in this glorious championship again. And we had a break for 2 weeks now, but we are back after we had 2 exciting races in Spain and especially in the Netherlands. We're in Monza, and this is one of the more easier tracks on the calendar. David, I don't know if you can tell us something more about this circuit. I mean, you have driven a lot here before, I think.
Yeah, I mean, Italy is a historical track. Monza is historical. It's since many years in the calendar of the F1, and it's one of the high-speed tracks. So many fast and also tricky corners with the chicanes and Ascari and Parabolica. All of those are not that easy to handle. So yeah, we are looking forward for a nice and tight qualifying now.
And especially this year brought us one of the most exciting races of the century when Pierre Gasly won the race. And we have a similar picture. The last 2 races, or I should say the first 2 races, have been won by an AlphaTauri and was none other than championship leader Domi. Do you think he can make it 3 out of 3 today?
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. So, Domi made 2 great performances in the last race, but there are also other kind of drivers who want to win, like Liam. So it's a very competitive field of drivers today. And yeah, let's go.
And many people don't know this maybe, but you've driven the inaugural race in Spain. It wasn't a successful race, but what can you tell? What is the challenge in this championship? What's the main difference between this and, for example, GP1?
Yeah, it's very important to get your focus in the first laps in the qualifying. That you set a good lap maybe in the first run, so that you can push all together in the last runs of the qualifying. We've got Cohen with 18.1, and that's fast time for his first shot. And
Yeah, definitely.
It's important in the race to stay calm, don't get damage in the first four rounds. And then it's you're getting in the rhythm, and then it goes on and on, and yeah, that's it. So yeah, Liam 18.2, second place behind Cohen.
Yeah, quite interestingly, everyone in the chat tells us that you should drive. David isn't a full-time driver anymore. He stepped down after the first race and then decided today to become one of the 2 commentators.
Yes.
And I'm very happy about that.
Yeah, I mean, had quite a bit problems with time pressure, such a thing, but I'm driving in GP1, so that's enough for me. But yeah, let's look at these guys who are driving today, and not on myself. So
yeah,
next one up is Envious Christmas with 18.495, and he's going up to P3. And then I think there's Maxi coming around the Parabolica.
Really on the limit with the line on the Parabolica. And he's setting a 1:19.6. Not the fastest lap time, but I'm sure he will improve that. And I should add to my comment before, I'm happy to share this time with you because we are not often in the same party or in the same lobby, so it's a pleasure, like some would say. But yeah, I hope you enjoy the content. Make sure to like the stream and subscribe to your YouTube channel. We have massive content including this championship, but I'm sure you're all here because of this championship and not the other leagues. The other leagues are not interesting. Only Global F1 is interesting. No, but we are very happy to be back here, and I think we can look forward to a very good race, especially after the last race we had in Zandvoort, where the winner was decided at the last lap. So maybe we could see something similar today. And I think the most difficult part of this championship is the length, because we are only racing half of the length we are normally used to. I don't know if it was a challenge for you when you raced in Spain.
Probably most of the drivers like to drive 50%, because 100% it's really hard to push every lap. And they like to push in 50% because it's a shorter amount of rounds you have to go, and it's easier for your concentration when you have to drive on such a high level. And yeah, but on my opinion, I like 100% races more, because I like to be consistent every lap and get the rounds with the consistency, and then hopefully get a good place out of there, and not with pushing like 20 laps to get the best result. More about the consistency.
Right, that are some words from you. World Rally meanwhile got 6th place, and Domi takes P1 with 1:17.9. Now that's a fast lap time. I'm pretty sure it will be.
Next line Course share place 6 and 7 with nearly the exact same time, 18.7.
7 thousandths of a second between each other. And what I want to say, I'm sure that this lap time of Domi is hard to beat. This would be the third different pole setter in the third race. We obviously had Liam as the inaugural pole setter in Spain, and after that we had Wexham in his first outing, but unfortunately none of them has won in the races. Obviously, like I told before, it was Domi who won, but he never scored a pole position before.
And what we see here on the track, many drivers are going to make their time not guilty, so they cut the corners or something like that. So many drivers who are not running their time and going to pit or something like that. But we have Lars coming. Oh no, Lars is going when he's buying up.
Let's watch him on board now. Let's see if he can improve. He's now 4th in the standings, so he never stood on the podium before, but he is one of the faster drivers in this championship.
Nicky King is also gone irregular and is going to the pits, but Red Nexla is on a flying lap. Okay. But I think also he has got irregular and made it out of the Ascari. So I think he's going to pits, and yes, he does.
His lap time also has been deleted.
And Liam also, I think, but he's going for another lap, as he is.
Yeah, they're struggling with the lap times, but Lars has the fastest lap time in Sector 2. So maybe he can attack Domi's lap time. Domi is the only driver so far with a 1:17. Then after that, Caden Forbes with a 1:18.0, and the rest with a 1:18, except for Maxi and Thomas, but I'm pretty sure they will improve on their lap time. And we see Lars coming through the finish line, and it's only P5, but ahead of his teammate.
Yeah, and only 4/10 of a second behind Domi, who is on P1, current championship leader.
Oh my goodness. And there was the crash from Maxi, we saw that on board.
Okay.
And he made
Sebel now also going for his first counting flying lap.
Yeah, obviously the tragic loss of a potential first win in this championship for him. He spun at the restart of the last safety car, so he wants to get another chance of a possible win here today.
And Enzo Enosia Thais has got a regular, and he's also gonna pit, I think, this next lap, but no, he's coming there.
Alright.
Now it's Domi on the out lap, so.
But what do you think? I think you know Sebel a little bit more than the others. Do you think that's a circuit that suits to him more?
It's a Monza is a track where controller players, and Sebel is one of the controller players.
And he spun. Yeah,
Sebel spun. Ah, okay.
Right when we talked about him.
I think that Monza is a track where pad and controller is quite similar because of those really hard braking zones and
pad and wheel, you mean? What? Not pad and controller. Sorry to interrupt you.
No thing. And I think it's quite similar to drive on the lap times, but we know that the wheel is more consistent on every track.
And we didn't mention it, but Christmas got actually the fast lap time. We didn't saw that, to be honest. We were focused on all the other drivers, but he set a 117.8. How did we miss that?
I haven't seen that.
Yeah, me neither. I noticed that right now. So, yeah, that's quite interesting.
Yeah, but Cohen is on his flying lap now. He's going around the last corner.
And Dickie King exceeded track limits, which means his lap time is also deleted. That's a shame.
And Cohen goes P3, 18.0.
Oh, what an improvement!
And the other ones are pitting here, but Kurax is going over the finish line.
And is in third. What a lap!
17.944. That's a really strong lap.
We have
only 9 thousandths of a second behind Domi.
Yeah, and his teammate Rednexler only P8, but he is improving. But we only have 4 minutes to go, so that means we will see probably the last laps of many drivers.
And Frederick has
also deleted.
Yes. And now we see that Nicky King and Sebel haven't set any time, and they have to go out now.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. You're really under pressure now with 4 minutes left. A lot of guys set it quite a fast time, so they can push to get a really fast lap, but they don't. So they have to look that they get a lap which is not deleted.
Yeah, that's the issue of many drivers. Many people think I need to set a fast lap time right now, but it's better to set a safe lap time first, rather than risking that your lap time will be deleted. So that's the main issue of many drivers.
That's the point in the first quite 1 or 2 laps in the qualifying.
Yeah.
If you get a clean lap, but not a deleted lap, then it's all fine. And then you didn't have that much pressure in the last or other laps, and you can push full. But now they have some kind of pressure to handle with. Let's see how they're gonna make it.
So we are now on board with Sebel. 25.9 in sector 1. Oh, massive cut, but it was legal, so yeah. He's using the track limits, which are allowed. Obviously the game allows some track limits, and he used that pretty much.
Going 5th around the second decimal, now into Ascari.
Fastest time in sector 2, so he's on a mission now.
Going quite clean there. around their car and getting some slipstream behind his teammate. Now going to the final.
Slipstream is really a weapon in this circuit. He needs to nail the final corner Parabolica, and this will be a counted lap time.
Yeah, I think it's gonna.
But only P8.
Yeah, it's only. I think the second sector irritated us quite a bit. I don't think it was a purple sector there, but it's
yeah,
P8 now.
You can watch that in the menu.
Yeah.
But Domi set a personal best lap time in sector 1, so he tries to snatch his first pole position. But he slowed down.
The second sector wasn't purple, so it was a mistake from the game now.
Okay. But Domi slowed down, so we won't see an improvement from him this lap. Neither from Caden Forbes. But Liam
maybe he's going for another one.
Yeah, I think so too. Liam can improve. So let's watch.
Nicky King also will. He's around the as carry, you know.
Okay, then let's watch him. But
no, he's going on
leaving.
Another lap. I think he.
Yeah. But if you look at the minimap, many drivers go for the slipstream, especially one of the Renaults. And I think that's Christmas. Oh, and Liam's time is also deleted. Massive mistake.
Many times are deleted here. So.
And Christmas doesn't have the slipstream anymore. What Rally retired from the session, so he wanted another lap time. And I think it was a mistake he made in Lesmo 2.
I think people are going now on on their fastest lap. Kind of struggled a bit in the last one. Going.
So let's see.
Pretty much.
Let's see if Domi can improve. He was a bit slower in sector 1 and his lap time is deleted. And this will be a massive disadvantage for him.
Domi, is he gonna take pole?
Yeah.
In Monza?
Oh! Little slide from Kurax. But let's watch Christmas if he can improve his lap time. But that's massive for Domi.
First one up, going finish line is Nicky King. He's on P15, so he has to improve.
Right, he's now at the Parabolica and comes to the start finish straight. Let's see if he can improve. Domi obviously retired. But let's watch now Nicky King. Is he gonna improve? And he improves P8 right ahead of his teammate.
Gonna pit, so next one up is Christmas.
And Christmas didn't improve by 9,000ths of a second. Kurax is
next one is
pitting.
Cohen, I think. Yes.
And Cohen doesn't improve.
Also did.
Last
and
one.
I think Red Nextla also delayed his lap, so that's it for, I think, Liam. No,
Max is
Liam
the last one,
there.
everyone's lap time is deleted. That means Christmas takes his first pole position in Global F1 in a rather boring fashion than we had it in real life, but it's a pole position, so credits to him for that. His first pole, the third different pole setter in the third different race. So that's quite interesting.
And Domi really close behind him, the championship leader.
But the gaps are the gaps interestingly are closing more and more with each race. The top 13 are within 1 second and everyone within 2 seconds. So we're improving. It's good to see.
And Kurax also quite close there on P3.
Yeah.
Hopefully he's gonna make a good race for him today. Cohen on P4, Caden P5 with 1/10 behind the other ones. Then Caden and Liam, who really struggled, I think, a little bit today.
Yeah, but we
couldn't set a quite perfect lap. I think there's I think he can improve a little bit more, in my opinion.
Yeah. But we are jumping now right into the race. We have the formation lap, and after that we have 50% race. I think it will be 27 laps we have, so 27 laps race action. And let's hope for a good race around here.
Yeah, Paris said in the chat that he expected mid and low 17s. We saw quite high 17s there, but yeah, he's driving also on a quite strong level of F1 drivers. Also one of the best. But yeah, we see that Frederick has switched to the mediums, and also Enosia, Wert Rally and Maxi did. So they are changing their strategy. So let's start the formation lap. We've got no pass between the race and the qualifying.
Yeah.
That's different between the GP1, GP2, GP3, GP4 and the global.
Keine Fahrhilfen was lagging a little bit, but it's not massive, so everything is good so far.
So we got a quite long straight into turn 1 and chicane, which is really hard to fight with 2 people in it. But hopefully nobody's getting damaged and we see a clean start.
And Christmas is already building a gap. I don't know if that's good for him, because he obviously needs to get heat in his tires.
Yeah, I mean, you can go quite fast lap, because the guys who are running the mediums shouldn't have got that much temperature then in their tires. Maybe it's that what he wants to do, but
yeah,
yeah, I think he got his temperatures, and I think he also wants to drive now. And maybe get his first win in the RL Glover.
Yeah, in Global F1, that would be massive if he gets his first win. Obviously, he would be the first driver to beat Domi in this season. Obviously, it's the 3rd race now, but no one has matched Domi so far in terms of wins. So maybe we could see a new winner. That's always exciting to see. But yeah, 4 of the 5 drivers who were outside of the top 10 starting on mediums. With Thomas being
And
the exception.
The most likely strategy here to say is a soft and medium strategy.
Yeah.
So I think we are not gonna see the hard tires, but yeah, let's focus on the start now.
Yeah, this will be the most important part right now. Let's hope for a spectacular race here around the Temple of Speed. And here we go, 5 red lights. And we're on the way in Monza. Very good start from Christmas. Everyone is getting away now.
Domi can't get beside him into turn 1. Christmas will stay in P1 there.
Oh,
but
there was contact!
Brooks is trying to get in P2.
Oh. There was contact between Caden Forbes and I think it was Cone. So Caden Forbes has lost a bit of his front wing, he has damage. But Christmas is leading right now with Domi in 2nd and Kurax in 3rd.
And Liam has gone up to P5 now, behind Cohen.
So top
next I lost 1 position, 2 positions now with the World Rally.
So the top 4 stayed like it was at the start, but the rest changed except for Maxi. And we have some position changes here.
And we see quite a gap between Caden and Onosia at the first lap here. The other ones are really tight and kicking, pushing on Lars. Oh. Struggled a bit out of his carry, so now we're gonna see the train there. If you are in the DRS, it's quite powerful.
Yeah, especially with the slipstream.
Yeah, you can upload your ERS, and
Oh, and
then
Körner's falling down.
Cone
He's in the menu, actually. So
I think he.
that's quite interesting.
No, I think the graphic is not quite okay.
Quite
Because,
accurate.
it's
Yeah, that's
now,
right. It's not quite accurate.
Not interested in that. That's interested on the other ones in front. So Christmas got a really quite good start. Domi is on second place, fourth and third. So they are driving in the DRS.
They haven't got DRS.
Their next round it's going to be activated, so then they can push with the ARS a little bit.
Little drift from Kurax at the exit of the Ascari chicane, but he hold it. So we have the train of 9 cars, and then after that we have a train of 5 cars. So that's quite interesting to see. And with the DRS will be now another thing. Top 6, all each other 1 second behind the driver ahead of them.
Thomas is spun
In the Parabolica.
Yeah, I think he got some damage. No, I think he didn't.
No wing damage.
Maybe there was some contact there.
So no safety car needed.
Yeah, but we see that the medium drivers really quite struggling a bit. No one progressed quite a much, so you have to get the temperature until they work. And now we activated the DRS, so...
And quite interestingly, Domi is pulling a gap between himself and Kurax, so he is attacking now Christmas. But Kurax has also DRS, but it's...
but Kurax is pushing quite a much of DRS now to stay in the DRS. But it's nearly a second. Liam is also trying to get past Cohen, but it's too much to overtake him. Several on P8 and Mittel 7, the 2 Red Bulls. And Caden is in the box.
Yeah,
I think Caden got a front wing damage.
Yeah, like I said, he got that at the start.
Yeah.
And what really puts himself up into 9th place.
Going on his hard tires now.
No, hard tires, okay.
Yeah, I think he wants to go to the end of the race.
Yeah.
It's the right strategy in my opinion, because mediums are not gonna hold for 25 laps or something like that. And Christmas is pulling away from Domi a little bit.
Yeah, that's also interesting to see. Domi is now a little bit under pressure, but we know him, he won't give up, and if you see the RS graphic...
Kurax made a little mistake there and he's now out of the DRS, so he has to push a little bit now.
So Domi's saving a little bit of his ERS, while Christmas used it a little bit more. He only has 14%, while Domi has 48%, so a little bit less now, but he's now attacking, but I don't think the move will be done here. But he's closing the gap massively.
Yeah, also Cohen and Kurax hasn't got the DRS, and on the first straight it's so powerful. We can earn quite some temps there, and we see Kurax is now 1.3 seconds behind Domi.
Well, Christmas a little bit in the gravel, but not much.
The other ones are driving quite close, lined up to 7. They also want to stay in DRS, but Nikki now made a little mistake, and now he's out of the DRS. So we got a group of 6, or maybe the first group of 2, then the other ones, but it's also quite interesting to see if anyone is going to make an undercut.
Oh, yellow
today.
flags, and that's Caden Forbes.
Yeah, he's on last position. Maybe the hard tires aren't on temperature. And Red Nextla is fighting with Frederick. But they are side by side. Red Nextla and Frederick, but Frederick has gone through with the mediums.
Yeah, that's quite interesting.
So they are going better now.
So World Rally and Inossia Thijs are battling, and Thijs put himself up into 9th place with World Rally behind him.
Yeah, but Rally has got quite good exit out of turn 2. Maybe he can attack Inossia again, but I think he will not. There's quite a big gap now between Severin and Inossia, but that's because they're fighting quite much. Kurak's also 1.8 seconds behind Domi. Domi's quite close behind Christmas, and he is pushing for his 3rd win in a row.
Yeah, and World Rally right behind Inossia Thijs, so that's quite interesting battle here between these 2 drivers. But right behind them is Frederick, and then we have Red Nextla. So it's a 4-way fight.
And
ooh.
I think that the 2 Williams want to go past the Alfa Romeo now. Maybe they're speaking a little bit to hold the World Rally.
Here we go, there are 3 right.
He's going through both Williams now.
Oh my goodness, don't touch, guys, don't touch. And he's through.
Yes. Yeah, Inossia hasn't got the DRS, so he was overtaken by both of them. But now the Williams are battling themselves. That's not good for them, because Frederick has a chance now to get away.
But Frederick braked a little bit more, so that his teammate can push a little bit more here.
So Cohen now really close on the high rocks.
Oh, and World Rally made a little mistake here at the exit of Lesmo 1. Now he has the DRS, but I don't know if I don't know if it will cost him much more time than he will gain.
World Rally is on the inside, but he backs up.
Struggling.
Inossia goes through. So he's through again on P11 to P9 again, which was on the last round there. And now Cohen has got DRS up to Kurox, and he's going onto the left side.
And he's now up into 3rd place, into the podium position.
And Liam also wants to go through now, so he has to if he wants to stay with Cohen, who seems a little bit stronger than Kurox in this situation of the race.
Okay, we have some interesting laps here. We have still 20 laps to go, so a lot can be decided on track, and I think Domi is waiting up for the next move. He's closing the gap, but we need to wait another more laps to see an overtake.
Frederick and Red Nextla are fighting there. Red Nextla on the outside now, on the inside for the right chicane, but Frederick has gone through and is again up to B11, but Red Nextla is I think the soft tires are going to the end, but they're working quite well in this situation. In the next few laps, they're going a little bit worse. So.
And here we go, Domi's now attacking Christmas, and he tries it around the outside. Christmas left him the space, and Domi is now leading this race. But Christmas doesn't give up, and once we saw that, Lars and Kurex drove into the pits, which means we have the first pit stops of the race.
So it's time for the soft tires in the next 1 or 2 laps to pit. That's quite a issue of the undercut now going on the Flores and Kruaks. Want to make positions out of that. And Domi is not pushing. He's got quite some ERS, which Christmas hasn't, and he wants to break the DRS before he goes into the pits, I think. And 3.5 seconds behind Christmas.
The two Williams are fighting still with each other. Now Frederick around the outside of his teammate Inosio Tais. What a battle between these two drivers. And also the two Red Bulls have a battle.
Yeah,
but
they've switched positions, but the Red Bulls are going quite a good strategy because they are not fighting themselves for position. They are more likely to ride behind each other and push themselves, not like Frederick and Anosia, because they are more fighting themselves.
We have many people in the pits.
Yeah.
The top 4, and then we had also Nicky King in the pits, which means Sebel is leading this race.
Yeah, Sebel got through, and some people won, Wert really, and the other ones are on the medium, so only Red Nextla and Thomas are those who didn't hit and
Sebel
have to go in the pits. Yes, and Sebel.
From the soft tires. And from the guys with the medium tires are Maxi, Inosio Tais, Frederick, and World Rally. And oh my goodness!
Going through Max.
What a move!
That was quite close.
And this will obviously help him in the battle.
Maxi is going to battle him to the scary chicane.
Oh, what a move from Domi! And he's nudged P6 again. So this will help Domi actually to gain an advantage against Christmas. But he has
to fight the people to get past him, so nobody is backing up for him.
But he won't have DRS on the start-finish straight. Sebel now in the pits.
And good Nexel too. I think Thomas will also go in the pits.
Christmas now on the start-finish straight, and he's through. And he's now behind his rival in this race, Domi. And they have to gain 3 more positions, or in Christmas' case 4 positions, to fight for the lead again. But obviously the other drivers ahead will pit very soon.
And you see Domi is now coming towards Anosia, who hasn't pitted yet. And that's because they have fighted so much against each other.
And they are also on the medium tires from the start.
But they really haven't got any chance to get them with the soft, so yeah. I think the Red Bulls are doing quite a better job there, not fighting each other that much, and they're looking who's the better driver, them, and who's going in the front, maybe changing a little bit.
And what I want to say, Red Nexla also pitted for the hard tires. It's quite interesting because we are nearly halfway through the race. But the Williams are still not pitting, and now Domi will pass these two drivers. And not himself, Christmas set the fastest lap of the race with 1:21.2. And now we have a massive train right behind us with Kurax, Cohn, Liam and Lars fighting for P7.
4.6 seconds to Nicky King and several who are behind them. Also on the same strategy.
And here we go, Domi is now passing Frederick for 2nd place.
Yeah, Domi is going through. Now he's 2nd and soon he will be on P1 again. But that's a crucial moment of the race. So Domi is now nearly through the other drivers, and Christmas has to fight for position. If Christmas will not get through in the next lap, this can be it. If Domi isn't gonna make any mistake, so
Yeah, it will be
that's
interesting.
crucial.
So the drivers won't pit, as we are driving only 50% of the race. So yeah, like I said, that will be crucial. And Frederick still is driving. He's not
Christmas
pitting.
now going on the right side, and yeah, he's gonna overtake Frederick. I think he will back up.
But Christmas
does.
still within 1 second behind Domi, so that means he will have DRS eventually.
Maybe Domi pushed a little bit too hard. Also, Christmas is now on 20% of DRS, but yeah, if he goes into his DRS, that can be quite interesting. Yeah?
Yeah, and you have to consider that at this current moment, Domi doesn't have DRS, but he will have it at the start-finish straight again.
So, and a big hello to Bernie chat.
And Kurox overtake now Maxi, which means he will also have a gap between himself and Cone. P6. Oh,
And
Maxi. Yeah, little mistake from the Ferrari driver.
And Cone's through, so he's no problem. That one and Liam also does, because they are teammates.
And he's letting everyone through except Lars, so Lars with a disadvantage here.
Yeah.
And what a battle these drivers are showing us here.
Lars now going besides Maxi and will go through.
And Cone also
And
around
Cohen,
the
of
outside.
course.
And he's through.
And Cone goes through. Clean move there.
But Lars really struggling with Maxi, but he's now through, and that means he is now in P9. With Liam in P8.
It's now quite close to World Rally, so he will get DRS and Christmas also.
Yeah, we didn't notice that. So Christmas closed a little bit the gap to Domi. So that means the battle between these two drivers isn't over yet.
Yes, he profited with the car who hasn't pitted in the front. He's backing up Domi a little bit. And now Christmas has the chance to
my
overtake
goodness.
Domi again.
What? He has the better exit, but can he do it? No, he doesn't have the better straight line speed here.
Yeah, but he will get DRS now, quite strong.
So Domi a little bit under pressure here. And World Rally still doesn't pit. World Rally still doesn't pit. The medium driver still doesn't pit. Every one of them. And now Domi and Christmas will get through, but let's see what Christmas does. He doesn't go for the move. And
But I think he will now. Is
he gets
a really good exit.
He gets a better exit into the corners.
Now he will go on the left side. Yes, he does.
Let's see if he breaks later, and he doesn't. So
that's much. Cohen goes into P5 now. He's in front of the Williams. And Kurak says also to go through if he wants to stay with Cohen.
So Christmas, the only of the two drivers with the DRS, and as we know, it's very powerful in Monza, so that means he can close the gap a little bit. And now Domi gets a better exit.
And Kurax now is really close on Enostia. And he's also in the DRS of Cohen.
Alright, Christmas, much better exit than Domi outside of the parabolic, and they're now on the start finish straight with the DRS. And Christmas at the inside, someone pitted, but that's not what we are focusing now. Christmas takes the lead back again ahead of Domi, so Domi really struggling at the moment, so he needs to think about another move in the final laps. That's massive.
I think he wants to to stay in his DRS.
And he's now trying it around the inside again, and Domi through, so changing the lead again.
So I thought Domi would have done the move to stay behind Christmas, but he didn't. He really wants to stay in the lead. And you have got quite a big profit if you are in the DRS. You can upload your ERS there and then maybe push 1 or 2 laps to overtake your opponent in front. But if they are battling quite much, maybe Cohen is getting closer to them. We have 11 laps to go, 10 now. Kurak is close to Enosia now, who is 1.6 seconds behind Cohen now, and is going to the pits.
And here we go again. Christmas doesn't try move.
So Liam is going side by side with Kurax. He's on the outside. Maybe for the left turn he gets the inside, and maybe he can.
Little touch between these two drivers.
Yeah, Lars wants to be the third who profits, but Liam is taking 5th position now. With Virtually, who hasn't pitted yet.
Oh, what a battle between these 3 drivers for 5th place. But as we saw, there's one driver who still has to pit, and it's World Rally. He's the only driver left who hasn't pitted yet.
You can watch Enosia now. He's going quite close to the next line. They're going side by side, and he got the better tires, and he's gone through onto P11.
I have a glitch from the game here. Okay.
No problem for him. Red Nextler has got the hard tires. And now Christmas is struggling a little bit again with 0.9 seconds behind Omi, but he gets the DRS and he can gain a little bit on the straight now.
World Rally now in the pits, so that means we have the right order now, as he's the last driver to pit. Now we have Kurax right behind Liam.
And we see the gap of Liam and Cohen. That's because World Rally, that's because Noshia, I think, hasn't pitted and really backed up Kurax and Liam and Lars a little bit. And Cohen got through, and yeah, then there's a 2-second gap now.
We have 10 laps to go, so that means we'll be the 10 lap shootout between these drivers. So we will maybe see a new winner if Christmas can do the job, but either that or Domi will get his 3rd win in a row and still be the only winner in Global F1 so far. And for the battle in 3rd place, Cohen is set to get the podium, but Liam is right behind him, although it's a 2-second gap. And right behind Liam with DRS are Kurax and Lars. We shouldn't underestimate the 2 Red Bull drivers in P7 and P8.
Say that. Only 1.6 seconds now. They have gone up to 5 seconds in the first stint.
Yeah.
So they got quite a good pace now.
Let's try not forget possible penalties.
Yeah, quite a crucial thing on this track.
Yeah.
If you're driving on such a high level, mistakes can happen.
Meanwhile, Frederick set the fastest lap of the race with a 1:21.0. And Maxi now set the fastest lap time with a 1:20.9.
But he's in P13, so he won't get any point of that one.
Yeah, but
only the top 10 will get a point if they set the fastest lap.
But quite interestingly, that's faster than the lap record set by Rubens Barrichello in 2004, which was a 1:21.046. So with that lap time, Maxi set a new lap record. It's also a little fact here.
So Christmas now really close to Domi. Maybe he wants to overtake him now on the straight line.
Yeah, I mean, here's still 9 laps to go, so not much time left between these two drivers. Obviously, they have the same tires. They put it on the same lap time.
That's the gap is too big that Christmas can overtake Tommy, but he will get a quite good exit maybe.
No change between the two Red Bull drivers. Nicky King now up into P7, so team decision probably. And Ward Rally set now the fastest lap for 120.8, so he will get the same amount of points as Frederick, but now that's changed because he overtook Frederick. And Frederick's teammate, Tais, set the fastest lap of the race. So many drivers are putting in the faster lap times.
Maybe because there's quite a difference because of the fuel now. Fuel is going quite low.
That's quite obvious.
Yeah.
But these are outstanding lap times, I have to say.
Yeah, but also interesting, Nicky King is now in front of Saber, but they are not gaining more time on the other ones in front.
Yeah.
So the gap is now up to 2.5 seconds again. Or I think that Saber has got a better pace of the Red Bulls, but he wants to earn some ERS now behind Nicky to go in front again then.
And I also noticed that Liam closed a little bit the gap between himself and Cohen, so maybe he can put himself up for a fight for 3rd place. And Cohen is now really struggling. But he also saved more ERS than Liam.
Yeah, we will see a shutdown for the 3rd place, with 4 drivers having the opportunity to get the 3rd place there. And also the first place hasn't been decided yet.
That will be like the last race. The winner will be decided on the final lap of the race. Let's hope for that. Can be like that, but maybe we saw the winning overtake before. Let's see. But Christmas is closing and closing the gap to Domi.
Yeah, and here's twice the amount of DRS Domi has got. So DRS is quite crucial around this track.
And here we go. He has the slipstream, he has the DRS, and he's closing now, even before he had the DRS. And now Christmas trying go around down the inside, and he's through.
I think that's what Domi wants to do, because Domi wants to get some DRS now, maybe, or he's going to overtake him into turn 3. But I think the gap is too big.
There's a possible chance that Domi, if you look at him on board, he's saving fuel. Oh, Christmas in the gravel a little bit again, so he's struggling at the exit of the 2nd chicane. The 2nd of the 3 chicanes here at the circuit. I think we will see
got
another
into the DRS of Cohen again.
Already? Wow,
yes.
Okay.
0.5 seconds.
So Liam maybe gets his 2nd podium of the season. He obviously got his 1st podium in the inaugural race where he finished 2nd and started from pole. So could we maybe see for the first time the driver who takes pole position also winning the race? If you look at the gap, Christmas has now 0.8 seconds between himself and Domi, but I think he used a little bit more of his ERS to build the gap. But we still have 7 laps to go, so it's not decided yet.
Lars also is struggling to stay with the other 3 guys in front of him. So he has to push now to get into the DRS again. And the Red Bulls are also struggling a bit again, not performing their best to get into the DRS of Lars.
And Cohen needs to give everything. You don't want to have Liam on your back. Once he sees the opportunity, he will use it and take the position. So he's a dangerous driver in terms of that.
Yeah, we have to mention that some of those drivers who are in front there maybe will get the opportunity to get one of the pro drivers one time. So
yeah, massive.
Yeah, on a such a high
Definitely.
level, that's unbelievable.
Domi could be one of these one of these drivers, sorry. I wanted to say one of these two drivers. He's one of the two drivers who can win this race, but not one of the two drivers who can land into the Pro Series, like you said that. There will be multiple drivers who have a chance there.
Mm-hmm. And Liam not going to overtake Cohen. They are likely have the same amount of ERS. So really both pushing quite hard. And Frederick is close behind Wert Rally, fighting for P9.
Okay, that's interesting to know. So maybe a position change between these two drivers. Obviously they are fighting for 9th place, which will only be 2 points, but 2 points are better than nothing. And I'm quite surprised that so far every driver is still in the race. We had DNFs in the first 2 races, so maybe this could be the first race with everyone
and
finished.
And Wert Rally made a big mistake there out of the Scali, and Frederick has gone through into P9 again.
Okay, so
he has gone in the gravel there. And now Liam goes quite close to Cohen.
yeah, you really want to get this podium, but it's very close between these drivers, so maybe the penalties will decide that, and maybe because of the penalties we could see Lars maybe in 3rd place, so that's quite an option. And
yeah,
also Nicky King and Sebel. I think Sebel is famous for not having penalties, if I'm not mistaken.
We are into the last 3 rounds, 3 laps of this race. Lars, he has a gap of 2.6 seconds now, so he has to back up. He isn't able to go with the pace of the other guys there in front. And maybe he will get overtaken by the 2 Red Bull drivers.
So we will see position changes in the last 3 or last 2 laps. Kane Forbes meanwhile is at the 1:19.6, so another fastest lap for the McLaren driver.
Yeah, he's gone with a fresh new software.
Here we go now, Liam down the inside, and he's through now up into 3rd place, but it's not over yet.
Yeah, and we see that the gap is improving every lap. Last lap it was around 7 seconds, now it's around 8. So they are gaining quite much there in front.
Lars had a terrible exit and lost.
He got overtaken by both of the Red Bulls.
Yeah, because of the mistake he made. And we are now heading towards the final laps. We have the same gap we had in real life between Gasly and Sainz Jr., but now with Christmas and Domi. So one AlphaTauri is still involved in that, but they are fighting for the victory here. And Domi needs to give everything at the final lap to keep his winning streak and to be the only winner still.
And it's really unfortunate, we have to mention for Lars, because 5 laps ago he was fighting for the 3rd place and now he's up to 8th, so that's...
Yeah, it's unfortunate for him. We have a yellow flag and that's Caden Forbes, and he retired, so we still had a retirement in this race, and we're now on the final lap here.
And that's quite interesting, because he took the fastest lap and then he retired, so quite interesting there. But now we're in the last lap and Domi made a little bit of a mistake there out of turn 1. Christmas has the opportunity win his first race now.
Yeah, to get his first win. Meanwhile, Sebel and Nicky King changed positions, and also Frederick and Wert rally. So Domi outside of the DRS window for a little bit. So Christmas on set to his first win. So we could see a new winner in this championship, in this highly rated championship. We still have yellow flags here in Sector 1. Domi has still the DRS, but it won't be enough. It won't be enough for him.
But maybe he knows that Christmas got penalty, so we don't know, and we will see it on the checked flag. And
yeah, but
I'm also pushing quite hard for third place.
But we can save that for this moment here. We had 2 extraordinary races, and now we had the 3rd extraordinary race here. We are now into the final corner, and for the current state, with no penalties in it, Christmas wins the Italian Grand Prix. And now let's see, Domi wins actually the Grand Prix. Well done to Domi, but let's see if Liam can do something there. He is 3rd, Cohen 4th, and Kurak's 5th, and there's no change in positions for that. So 3 wins for Domi in 3 races.
And Cohen is on P4, Sabel on 5th, and Kurak's with 0.1 seconds behind on P6. Nicky King on 9.
World Rally has crashed. World Rally has crashed at the final corner of the last lap of the race, and he's now outside of the point.
He hasn't got any fuel.
Yeah, also that. So oh my goodness, this could also bring him a penalty point. I don't know, but yeah.
I don't think so. But yeah, quite unfortunate for him in the last turn there, so he won't get any point in this race. And
so
he was fighting for P9.
Domi with his 3rd win. Driver of the day is Sebel, understandably because he got multiple positions because of no penalties, I believe. But here's your top 3 of this race. No change in position for the 1st place driver. And still no driver in pole position getting the win, but we have Liam back on the podium and Christmas with his first points of the season, and with that 2nd place. So great result for him.
I'm going to invite the drivers of the podium for our interviews now.
And the familiar face, we had an AlphaTauri winning in Monza this year. And Domi actually the only driver in this race, and I mean the only driver in this race who hasn't got a penalty. Massive. Yeah, that's massive. So massive respect to Domi for achieving this. 1 second ahead of Christmas because of the penalties, so this will be a real shame for Christmas. Liam in 3rd, Cohen in 4th, Sebel in 5th actually, because he had less penalties than any other driver except for some people here. Kurak's in 6th, Lars with 15 seconds of penalty in 7th, then Frederick in 8th, Nicky King in 9th, and then we have Inoja Thais in 10th place. These are the only drivers with points. Then we have Maxi, World Rally, Red Nextler, Thomas, and Caden Forbes, who was the only driver who retired, but still with the fastest lap of the race. So 2 fastest laps in 3 races for him.
But what a performance by Domi. That's...
Yeah, absolutely. I think
unbelievable.
I think that's...
But also Christmas battled really hard there. So, there's yes. So congrats to you, Christmas. So
now let's wait for Liam. The first time we have more than 1 driver in the interviews, so that's good. so let's wait for Domi, but I'm not sure if we will be able to speak for him. Obviously, the AlphaTauris, as we know now, don't allow driver interviews. So I don't know. Maybe
Domi can't. He has no time.
Okay.
What
a shame, but we still have 2 drivers here, and let's interview them. In 3rd place we have, with the 2nd podium of the season, Liam. Then in 2nd place, unfortunately not the winner, but still his first points and first podium in the season, Christmas. And then still the only winner in this championship, 3rd race, 3rd win for Domi, but obviously he isn't there, so that means we are jumping to Christmas. Christmas, I have to say congratulations to you, first podium in this championship. I think not the win you wanted, but still the result you're happy with?
Yeah, I'm happy with P2. Coming to the race, I unfortunately didn't practice with the new setup I had, so it was a bit of a new feeling in the car. But I got a pretty good lap in the qualifying, and then the first stint on the soft went pretty good. Managed to keep first place for the, I think, first 5 laps or something, and then the rest of the race was a nice fight between me and Domi. Unfortunately, I had a 3-second penalty, and that costed me the first place, but I'm happy with the second place also.
Yeah,
Was it hard for you to get through the traffic when you pitted and to stay behind Domi there? How was it for you there?
Yeah, as I said, I had a new setup and it was so bad in dirty air, and I struggled in turn 3, I think, and I lost so much time. But somehow I managed to stick with him. But it was hard in dirty air. Yeah.
All right, and one final question from me. Obviously, your first podium after the disaster that happened between you and your teammate at the last race. I'm pretty sure that's also the result you want as a team. I think. Do you think you can keep this pace into the next races?
Yeah, I'm feeling very confident now, and I hope so. We can get good results in the next races.
Yeah, that's good to hear. Now, congratulations to you. And now we are heading to third place driver Liam, now second place driver in the championship. Welcome back to the podium. I think many people missed you there. How was the race for you today? I mean, you had a quite tough battle with some other drivers. How was it?
Yeah, it was a really tough race at the beginning, especially. I've done 3 laps in total on this track for practice, so I haven't done this track at all in the game. So yeah, it was like I needed a long time to find the pace. I found the pace towards the end of the race. I started to catch up to Cohen again. I think I catched up a second or so to get back into the DRS. It was really tough. It was a really fun battle. I had a lot of fun. I wasn't expecting this race to be so much fun. So yeah, I knew that it was tough pace-wise, and I won't be able to fight with the top guys. But I really happily take P3.
Yeah, that's good to hear. Obviously, after what happened last race where you couldn't quite keep up with the pace, I think that's a great result for you. Obviously, as I told, the second podium of the season, now second in the championship. Do you think you can catch Domi back again like you did in the first race, or do you think you need to improve a little bit more in the upcoming races?
It's gonna be quite tough considering the championship is only 11 races long. Domi is a really, really good driver, especially his consistency is crazy. So it will be tough. So I just mainly focus from race to race and see if I can sneak away a couple of wins.
That's quite a good ambition. David, one final question from you.
I've got one for Liam, and it was the situation when you and Cone were battling for P3, and then there was, I think, Anosia and the Williams who hasn't pitted, and he brought quite a big gap between you both guys, and then you had to push really hard to get back in his DRS. So how was the situation there for you? Were you struggling to get P3 at the end?
Yeah.
And how have been your thoughts?
Yeah, it was a really tough situation. I thought I lost P3 right there, because the gap was over 2 seconds, I think. I also had Kovacs behind, who was also trying to attack me. But at that moment in the race, I realized my pace was actually getting better, lap by lap, and I got more comfortable with the car, with the setup, and I somehow managed to close the gap again, what I wasn't expecting. At that point, I also thought that Cohen had no penalties, so I just like drove for fun pretty much, trying to secure P4. But then my Jeff told me that he has a penalty, so I had even more motivation to close the gap, and that's what I did. And then I just sat behind him, saved my ERF, and made an attack on the second to last lap.
Right, that's good to hear. I think that's it for today. Thank you, Christmas and Liam, for being here. Thank you, David, for being my co-commentator today. Make sure to like this stream and subscribe to the YouTube channel of the Racing Liga. Tomorrow we will be back with the GP4 for the first ever race at Vietnam. So this will be quite interesting to see. And yeah, make sure to be to watch the stream tomorrow. And I hope you enjoyed this today. And yeah, goodbye.